Okay, I'm hoping that this way there aren't as many shadows, but there's a little bit reflection of my light. But if you need to, just turn up the brightness on your phone so that hopefully you can see this a little bit better. Okay, so let's talk about perpendicular lines. A perpendicular line just means that if I have a line that goes this way, then a perpendicular line will make a right angle with it. So they are going complete opposite directions. Perpendicular lines always make a 90-degree angle. So if they're going complete opposite directions, then their slopes must be complete opposites of one another. So if I have a slope, let's say that I have a slope of 2/5. Then the slope of a perpendicular line, we just said, has to be completely opposite, which means that this fraction 2/5 actually has to be flipped. That's called reciprocal. And if it was going this way, because it's positive, so my right hand would be in the air, then to make it completely opposite, it's going to have to go this way. And if it's going left, then it's going to have to be negative. So what it's called is a negative reciprocal. So you change the sign and you flip the fraction upside down. So this new slope of a perpendicular line, and that is my symbol for a perpendicular, it's an upside down capital T. So this new slope is going to have to be 5/2, but it was going right, now we want it to go left, so we're going to make it negative 2/5. So the slope of, if a line has a slope of 2/5, the slope of a perpendicular line would be negative 2/5. Okay, let's try negative 4/7. Okay, try and think through what would the slope of a perpendicular line be. So think about what that would be. I'm going to take just a second. So we said it has to be the opposite direction. So this one is a negative. So then my slope of a perpendicular now must be positive. And then we have to flip the fraction. So it was 4/7, and now we're going to make it 7/4. So it's positive 7/4. Okay, let's try if I have a slope of 1/3. Okay, think through what would the perpendicular slope of that be. So it's positive here, so my answer is going to have to be negative. And then it was 1/3, so now I can make it 3. Now I could put over 1, but we don't tend to put fractions where we have a denominator of 1. That's just not really common. So we can just say negative 3, and that's it. Okay, let's try one more of those then. Let's say that we have a slope of 6. Let's do negative 6. So the slope of a perpendicular one to this, it would have to flip. Now this isn't a fraction yet, but I can make it a fraction by just doing what we had done there and put it over an invisible one. So now it was negative, so my new one's going to be positive because it has to go opposite directions. And now it's going to be 1/6. And that's going to be how we find the slope of a perpendicular line. Okay. So what if they told us that this line is, it's going to go through, let's say, negative 5, 4. And it's going to be perpendicular to 2x plus, let's not do 5, plus 4y equals 16. Okay, I'm going to put this in a little box. Sorry, I'm making these up as I go. So if we know that it's perpendicular to this line, then we know that that line is going to have an opposite slope of the one that we're going to make. But we don't know what that slope is because it's not in slope-intercept form. So think, what do we have to do in order to put this into slope-intercept form? We would have to get y alone. So I'm going to move 2x over by minusing it, and then I'm going to have to divide everything by 4. So minus 2x. So 4y equals minus 2x plus 16, and then divide by 4. So I divided everything by 4. I get y equals, okay, now negative 2 over 4, that's going to not go in evenly, but I can reduce that to 1/2 because 2 goes into there once and 2 goes into there twice. So negative 1/2 x, and 16 divided by 4, oh, that works evenly, so I'm just going to write positive 4. Okay, now this only helped us to be able to find the slope because it's going to be perpendicular to this. So if it's perpendicular to this and this slope is negative 1/2, then negative 1/2, the new slope is then going to have to be positive 2 because we would flip it, so it's a 2, and then it was negative and now it's positive. So now we're going to use that over here. So here is my x and my y that I can plug in. For my x, my y, this is my new m, so I'm going to plug in so that I can find my b, the y-intercept. So y is 4 equals, my slope is 2, the x is negative 5, plus b, which we are trying to find. Okay, so 4 equals 2 times negative 5 is negative 10, plus b, then I can add 10 over, so 4 plus 10 is 14. So the y-intercept is b. And now that I know my y-intercept and I know my slope, then I can write y equals m, which is my slope, so 2, which we used there also, x, and then plus b, which is 14. And that's it. I think that's all you need to know for perpendicular.